I've always had this in my mind. Always. I've been like, if I was Prime Minister, I wouldn't understand a fucking thing. you wouldn't be. If they had documents for me, I'd be like, make it so a 5-year-old could understand this, and then push it across to me. Also, make it from 100 pages to 7. I like the number.
Best.
And bring me my apple juice.
Don't water it down either, Karen. I'm looking at you.
I noticed last time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokaii with 2 eyes. We're back. We're on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. I want to give a shout out, but also a stern warning.
Oh, double-edged sword.
It's to those people that are in the supermarkets and they deliberately stop you with their little stand in the centre and try to talk to you.
Oh, yes.
Had it happen yesterday. So I want to give a shout out in the way of good on you for pursuing and actually just showing up and just doing the job. It seems like hell.
Yes.
It actually seems hell. It's a stern warning. Don't fucking talk to me.
How hard is it, though?
They used to have the worst pickup lines.
Yeah, okay. So when I also used to work at a supermarket, I remember one of my good friends and his girlfriend were walking past this table, and the guy was hitting on his missus so incredibly hard, and I was like, "What are you doing?" To the point where even I felt uncomfortable. I was like, "Mate, you're kind of crossing a line here."
They go too far. I want to know the pay. I want to know the pay specifically.
You'd hope that it's good to do that, but I feel like it can't. Surely it can't be that great.
You couldn't pay me to do that job.
Oh, no way.
I could go door knocking. We spoke about that, but that's because if someone's not interested, they can just close the door.
Correct.
You're trying to stop someone from walking and come up with a quick pickup line. It's a pickup line.
Yeah.
To get them to stop and pay attention to what you're doing. And I thought about it when I saw them, but I also saw a video a week before where someone walked past and they videotaped them and had a go at them. And also I was kind of like, I'll give them a break. Yeah, they're annoying, but you can also just say, no, I'm not interested and keep walking.
9 times out of 10, it's usually just head down, hey, do you want to try? And I'm like, no, I'm not interested.
But do you know what I do hate? The fact that you have to have your head down because you're like, if I make contact,
well, you just know they're going to approach you. They try to make that eye contact and all that. And I like to think I'm pretty nice guy. So I like to give them just a head nod or just a thumbs up, whatever. But then they almost get the vibe because I've done that I'm interested. It's no, I'm just feel like I'm being a decent human. Yeah. Because I know that there'd be so many people where they would try to look at and they just be sort of thing. So it's it's a long day. It is a bloody long day doing that.
It is constant rejection. And I can't think of, I feel like if you sign someone up, there's not a massive bonus involved.
No.
You're not getting something huge. The way this guy stopped me, it pissed me off a little bit, but I was also a bit empathetic, so I didn't mind too much. But he actually kind of stopped me in a way, which was the most annoying part.
Yeah,
kind of blocked my way and put his hand out a bit.
Yeah,
I was looking down. I've got where I work, the name on my jacket. So let's say it's Tim Kennedy's.
Yep.
Right? He's like, hey, Tim, as a joke. Tim. And I don't look at him. He's like, Tim, that's your name, yeah? Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy, that's you, yeah? As a joke, because he knew that wasn't my name. I'm like,
shit joke.
Yeah, I was like, nah, mate, nah. He's like, oh, well, no. I was like, no, I'm all good, mate. And he's like, like that. And I'm like, mate, it was
you got to deliver better than that if you're going to get my attention.
I walked past and I went, I already know if I had my own stand, how I would fucking smash you out of the park. And straight away, if I was selling something, maybe they're doing a charity, or maybe they're, I don't know, let's just say they're selling a type of chocolate bar. I would set up straight behind them. I'd have everything set up. I would have a massive sign.
Yep.
I would have a little chair down the bottom.
Okay.
All right. I'd sit in the chair, legs crossed, have a paper out, and above that chair would say, look, I'm not going to annoy you. If you're interested in these chocolate bars, they're fantastic. I'd love to have a chat. Feel free to stop.
Nice, simple, straight to the point. You're not beating around the bush. You're letting everyone know as well that, they don't have to worry.
Oh.
That's actually such a smart... That could be a massive game changer for the future of all these little stalls.
Imagine how much you'd stop just out of that idea because you've just had someone try to piss you off.
Yeah. I know for a fact I would. if I knew straight away, well, I can walk past without getting harassed.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually might have a look, like sort of thing. I feel like, and the smart ones, I suppose it goes for both sexes, you know, in that sense. More, I would think, a male than the females. I feel like they're very good at getting like that typical sort of like blonde, blue eyes sort of female, very flirty as well. They're quite good at like their skills to just get like the 18 to like 23, 24 demographic for like pull them for a chat, and then they're like, oh yeah, sure thing, or you want my number sort of thing, and then next thing you know they've signed up, because that's happened to a couple of my mates, and I also one time did stuff up and sign up to something. Then when I got to the train station, I was like, I need to cancel. Like I've just fucked up.
So you got stopped by a pretty girl and you signed up. What was it?
I seriously maybe like something about like sponsoring animals or something like that. And then I was like, no, what have I actually just done? Like, I remember walking away being like, no, that's not right. And now I've got to be the idiot to be like, no, I want to cancel. Like, I know I just signed up, but I already want to cancel.
Yeah, back to your girlfriend, you're confused. She's like, babe, what's wrong? He's like, I think I sponsor a koala. I'm not so sure.
That's what I mean.
Or a kangaroo. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was just like, oh no, what have I done?
I would, if that was my business, you're totally spot on. I would hire two, drop dead. It doesn't matter about personality. It does. They have to be friendly. Two drop dead gorgeous girls. I'd say you don't need the sales tricks. All I'm asking, just try to stop a few people and have a nice conversation.
Yep.
I'd pay them. Watch that business 100 times go skyrocket bananas compared to the other one I saw the other day, where it was this like, he wasn't a teenager, but he was in his 20s with glasses, and this overweight woman, and like she just seemed like a bit of a Karen, and both of them just didn't have the personality where it's like you'd want to stop.
Yeah, right, gotcha.
A lot of guys wouldn't be able to help them. So I'm telling you now, it's human nature where for some reason you would stop and be like, oh, well, maybe there's a chance for me to get her number. Or maybe if I do what she needs, maybe she'll like me. So I feel like if there was two really attractive guys, like really
good
lovely,
jawline, good bone structure,
100%. Like girls would stop too. And
yeah,
girls
most
like,
definitely. Because usually 9 times out of 10, and I feel like we see it at all these supermarkets, shopping centres, it's usually like those. And I do feel a bit like sad and a bit bad for them, but usually it's like the elderly, because they just want to have a chat, but then I feel like they get roped into them being like, oh yeah. Right, but I have seen a couple of times where the elderly are having a chat, and then like you can tell that like the people are just like trying to sell you the thing, like come on, like let's hurry it up and all that, and then like all right, we'll have a good day, and they're just like, oh, he's just spent like 20 minutes chatting to me, and he's not even interested. And it's like that's part of you, like
that is part of the job.
Like it sort of sucks, but like you kind of signed up to this.
Definitely signed up for it. There's some of the people they get trapped. And it's hard because they might realize a few minutes in that this person is someone who does not want to stop talking, does not want to stop, and they've asked the right questions where about 3 minutes in, you know if they're going to be a buyer or seller. Oh,
shit, yeah.
Yep. And do you know what's funny? Because I've had it in my workplace too with clients I've worked with. They know the right questions to keep you there.
Oh, most
because
definitely.
They just want someone to talk to. So they know, they've done it so many times, they know they're annoying.
Yeah.
They know they're annoying.
It's actually like a craft for them.
Yeah, because they're like,
nailed
how
it.
do I make sure they don't go away? Because I need someone to talk to.
Exactly.
I'm not kidding. I went into an appointment once at work, and I brought someone with me. We go into their house. No joke, 20 minutes, she did not stop talking before I could get a word
screw
in.
that.
And about the most random stuff. And it was going left, right, and center. And I was like, oh my God, we're a 6 person's house. Like she's sick.
Yeah, right.
This can't be normal how much she is talking. Like I'm gobsmacked. I'm just trying to get this job done and help her. But this is so all over the place.
Yeah, shit.
And there's some people that they're just lonely. They just want someone to talk to. Some people don't shut up.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to shut up.
Yeah, no, you're so spot on, man. You're so spot on. I'll tell you, and I'm glad that you bring that sort of job up and all that, because another one that I find very interesting, and I know for a fact I haven't purchased it, but there's people out there that have those infomercial ads.
Mm-hmm.
You see on like whether it's like Channel 9 or whatever, and it's like, oh, look at the ad cruncher now. Sign up for blah blah, and then you get. Out of curiosity, what goes through your head when you're purchasing that product?
Yep.
Or like the fact that you're staying on for that long. And I always say it as well. It's like, if you don't like it, don't worry. You can get the free item for free. And I'm like, there's got to be a catch.
Yeah.
There's got to be a catch. And the way that they do it as well, it's like the ad blaster. And this is the thing that I always find hilarious. They'll interview like 5 people that have like used it. It's like, in 6 weeks, I lost 5 kilos. And it's like, well, I'd hope so. Like, that is sort of normal. Unless you're at like a pretty good weight. Like, realistically, like any little bit of exercise, you're going to drop weight very quickly if you've done no exercise at all. And then it might be like a lady, it's like, in 3 weeks, I lost 3 centimeters off my stomach. And I'm like, that to me is the most pointless, like that proves nothing. Like, you could have been doing 20 other things to help you lose like 3 centimeters.
Yeah.
Darla.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then with this free ab cruncher, by the way, we're going to send you in a $250 cooking set for free. I know for a fact that cooking set is going to break within a week of me owning it.
It is.
It's not good quality stuff.
It is. That's more. It's like when you go. There's a couple of shopping centres near us where. How many times did you go past where there's kitchenware and the entire front of it is just 50% off, 70% off all the time.
All the time.
It's
never
always
the same.
Always. And I'm like,
yeah,
well,
I'm staying away.
Sense. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense at all.
I'm staying away.
Do you do your Christmas shopping very late or early?
I'm very notorious for like the week of Christmas. Sometimes like the 23rd, even Christmas Eve. This year though, I would like to do it early, but my thing is, so my partner's birthday is November.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Christmas. On the 5th of January, it'll be our 6 months. And on the 7th of January, my insurance for my car is due. And I got the email today.
In full,
and I pay annually.
Yeah.
The email came through this morning and I was like, just out of curiosity. 1.9.
Oof.
Bro, no. Like, straight no.
Yeah.
Granted, don't get me wrong, I've got the savings and all that, but knowing that that's going to come out and I know it's only once a year. I get that. But 1.9, seeing that come out of I just know I'm going to be like, that hurts.
Yeah.
That really hurts.
That definitely hurts.
I get to drive my car on roads that aren't even fixed.
Oh, that pisses me off so much.
Like, that in and of itself is a whole nother conversation because I could go on about that for a long time.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of things that don't get fixed or done, and it's just no. But I also don't know enough about it. I don't know that.
I did see I remember listening to the radio on the way to work, and they were like, "Oh, if you just want the roads fixed, then that's gonna have to come out of taxpayers' money." It's like, we as working class citizens, we already pay enough money in tax as it is.
Yeah.
The fact that you're going to take more tax out of us if we want roads that you guys should be fixing anyways is a complete and utter joke.
Do you know what has always pissed me off? Is the dole. The dole pisses me off more than anything else. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason for the dole. There's some people that need it. But the majority, and this is why it's known, it's the same with people in Tasmania kissing their cousins, because it's true.
Cheeky jab.
So many of them are just staying at home doing nothing, trying to show that they're looking for a job when they're not really.
They're just getting high on ice.
They also,
for the most part.
Well, that's the extreme ones. But the ones that know how to play the system, they also go through and they'll get job interviews and they'll ask for way too much. And
yeah, true.
They know there's people that know how to work the system. That's taxpayers' money. All of it. I hate it. And one thing I think, I go, okay, I've always had this in my mind. Always. I've been like, if I was Prime Minister, I wouldn't understand a fucking thing. you wouldn't be. If they had documents for me, I'd be like, make it so a 5-year-old could understand this and then push it across to me. Also make it from 100 pages to 7. I like the number.
Best.
And bring me my apple juice.
Don't water it down either, Karen. I'm looking at you.
I noticed last time. But one main thing I would do is I would have it set up where in every, and this might be so stupid to some people, in my head I thought it was great, I'd have in every 30 kilometres there's a space where there's a building that has a simple room with a simple bed. It's like in prison, but much nicer. You know, in Sweden, how they have in their, I guess, prisons, quotation marks. It's actually, I don't know if you know this, in Sweden, amazing.
Yeah, they get looked up to quite well.
Their jails are lovely. It's like a little apartment. I would have them set up maybe every 30, 40 kilometres of each other. Try to get as many in as possible. Anyone who needs housing, anyone who needs help, if you're homeless, that's where you go. Yep. Okay? That is where you go. There's maybe people looking after the place so there's no violence. There's no stealing, anything like that. But plain and simple, you're going to get a bed.
Blankets.
If you've got a kid, maybe there's a tiny bed next to it.
Yep.
You are going to have a
like a water system, like fresh water. Yeah, like you can clean yourself up.
The requirement for you to have access to that, because you could be really unlucky and be homeless. There is now a place to stay. The requirement for you to be able to get in there is that you have to work for the community. And what I mean is you have to pick up 8 hours a day. You have to work 5 days a week, normal 9 to 5, right? You have to pick up. I don't care if it's on the street, if it's out in the highway, you're picking up rubbish.
Yep.
Right? Maybe you're helping making clothes for kids. Maybe you're cleaning up if you're out near the beach, you're cleaning up the ocean. Somehow helping out the community. You're washing off graffiti. Walls,
Yep.
Anything.
Well, you're giving back to the community, but you're also helping like the universe.
Exactly. And then there could be team leaders where they grab that group of people and that's their job for the day. And there's someone looking out, making sure they're doing it. There shouldn't be a dole, right? It shouldn't be homeless. If you're homeless, that's on you. Because what I think with this environment is they get paid the minimum wage as well. So not only are you getting housing, right? Sure, it's not the best, but you have food to eat, you have a warm bed, you have a bathroom, you can shower, and you're going to get paid minimum wage no matter what to do that job and help the environment, help your community.
And then you might start enjoying like that work anyways, which then ventures actually into leading into a proper job.
But if you're complaining and you're like, this isn't enough pay, I want more. Good. Okay.
Yeah,
then go out and get an interview.
Yeah, exactly though. Like,
but no one can complain about they don't have enough money or they're homeless, because both of those things are up to you. You have a place to stay. You will have work no matter what. You've just got to work.
Yeah.
And if you want to whinge and if you want to whinge and bitch, it's on you.
I rate that. I rate that pitch.
Imagine if you went past someone who's homeless, or you had someone who was complaining to you, and they're like, "Oh, the fucking government is doing this, or I don't have enough money. They're screwing me on money." You'd be like, "What are you talking about? 10 kilometers away, you literally have a free room, and you can get a wage." And the requirement for work is basically nothing.
Yeah, you're spot on.
If you have a criminal record, because there's going to be team leaders and making sure everyone looks after it, you wouldn't be able to, and then you're all set. Imagine how much nicer the community would look. No graffiti, everything. Man. I don't even care.
Vegetation would be like healthy and stuff like that too.
How hard is it for someone to be in charge of a lawnmower?
Yeah, well. Yeah,
literally.
It's not rocket science.
None of it's rocket science. And I don't care if they're like, oh, there's nothing to do. It's like, mow it again.
Yeah, true.
Scrub that. Fucking go out and wash the road.
It could be some weeding in gardens or something like that. Maintain some gardens.
And I would love to hear someone complain about that. Because you would, mate. There's constantly people.
There's always going to be people that are going to complain no matter what.
They're going to whinge and bitch no matter what situation they are. That's why in the workplace there's some people that they just whinge about their boss. They constantly complain about their boss. No one ever, and I think I've even been, at fault at this too, just blaming other people instead of just.
It's easy. It is easy.
Instead of looking back at yourself and being like, yeah, well, you don't really help out that much. You really could do a good job if you wanted to, and it is a bit hard in that mindset because you're working for someone else in a job that you don't want to do.
Yeah,
you're just kind of getting money. And your boss, most times at a supermarket or it could be anywhere, when they're manager, that is what they want to do.
Yeah, most definitely.
Especially if they've risen the ranks and they're doing that.
Most of it. I think it's always hard as well when you know that, like, no matter how good of a job you do, and all that, they're the one that's getting more money than you as well.
Well,
'cause I know that it's not always a money incentive, but that can be a real pain in the ass when your higher up is doing next to nothing. And you're getting like these sales, or you're bringing these customers, whatever the job may be, you're giving them major profits, but you're only getting like the bare minimum, and they're the ones that are getting all these bonuses. But you're like, but I did that.
Yeah, that's
you
mate,
just sat there.
You make such a good point.
You sat there. You're the face.
Yep.
But I actually like helped like that. I got these sales. I bring these customers in. I made them bulk buy this product. Like.
Yep. You're just behind bitching to our area manager about me while I'm doing all this work. And the one that pisses me off the most, because you're really spot on, I do admit that sometimes you do have to reflect and go, nah, this is on me. Like everything that happened, it's on me. I need to stop complaining about other people. But you're so spot on, because on the other end, let's say you are at a supermarket and you're working your ass off for that minimum wage, right? It's not changing unless you get promoted to manager.
Yeah.
So you're working your ass off harder than someone in sales who might not work as hard, but maybe they have a really lucky day and they get bang, 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 commission. So if you're going hard in the paint, and your manager is one of those managers that does fuck all, the worst ones that leave early, those are the ones that piss me off, and you're doing all the work, you're covering shifts, and the manager's getting bonuses for it. Of course that kind of person gets resentful and goes, fuck this. But the best ones, the ones that work like that anyway, it's like when we spoke about school. It's like, even if you don't like school, you need to try, because then you carry that out.
Most
as
definitely.
You're going. So if you're working that hard, I promise you, when you do go to manager or you do go to the next job, it's going to get noticed.
As much as it sucks, and people do notice.
People definitely notice.
People take note of that, and like, it gives you such a good like record, like momentum, like going forward into the next job too. Like if you want a reference and you've done a great job, it's so easy to be like, hey, is it all good if I put your number down on my resume?
100%.
And you know, for the most part, they're going to put in a good word for you.
Yeah, if you get a manager of a store, wherever you work, the highest up, like the higher up, it's going to be a good call. It's going to be a good call in the future. Guys, that was Morokaii with 2 Eyes. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Boom.
Boom.